Hey, welcome back to Quality Cup Life. My name is Imani, and here we talk about how to pour into your cup first. You cannot give what you do not have, so let's pour it up and fill it past capacity, okay? So today I'm drinking, this is like my second favorite drink in the world, and that's like coffee with a little bit of chocolate in it. And let me know what y'all drinking in the comments. And today I wanted to talk about JEANNIE Mai's interview on the Same Room channel. I watched some of it, but I didn't finish it. And man, when I was watching it, I was like, JEANNIE is spitting all the facts of life. And she was talking about self-love and taking care of yourself and what that means and how she experienced it and everything like that. So I thought it was really dope. And I was like, man, I got to share this. So I'm going to respond to it in just a moment.
I get it. That's your lens.
And so when we're talking about self-love, right, because I tend to, my self-love, I think I'm on the journey, right? And we talked about that at dinner that day, is that I'm on that journey and I tend to say, okay, I can love myself if I'm a size, 8.
Right.
But if I'm a size 12, 14, you know what I mean, then the love kind of wanes, right? So when we talk about attaching your self-love to kind of your value in society maybe or how you look and things like that, to me, how do you find this like sturdy self-love, because you had unconditional love for your mom,
because we need to know.
And you said you felt God's unconditional love for you. How do you find unconditional love for yourself?
That's such a good question. Yes, the one part I will say is, if you do have an opportunity, for me, the first way of it, I'm sure there's many ways, right? But the first way for it, for me, is when I found having unconditional love for the hardest thing to love at that time, it broke a dam that it then made it flood, so that then I was able to know what that felt like for me. So that's for people who have hardened hearts. I'm telling you, the prize at the end of that, if you can find out how to love that person or how to at least
she talking to
have
me.
mercy for them, have grace for them, whatever it is, and I still have some. Like I just told you, there's people who have hurt me that I still don't have that for, but I leave that as to be continued, because I want to find what is the JEANNIE after that. There's a
come on, JEANNIE.
for me if I can do that, But for somebody who doesn't have it for themselves, there's this quote that I remind myself of, because it's helped me so much when I remember it. If a flower doesn't bloom, do you blame the flower or do you blame its environment? Right? So imagine if this plant didn't bloom, are you going to blame the plant and check the plant, or are you going to check the soil? Are you going to check the light? Are you going to check the air around it, the humidity? Because that's the reason why the plant grows, right? So we are that flower, right? But if we're not growing or we're not sprouting or blooming the right way, what is your environment? Who are you talking to? What Instagrams are you scrolling? What things are you filled with in your feed? What's your mind constantly talking about, even if it's about your body?
Come on, JEANNIE.
It's constantly like when you look in the mirror and you're just fixated on that part of your body, that's poison. That's poison in the soil.
Are you listening to Kevin Samuels? What's going on?
Oh, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
I'm watching Kevin Samuels just out of curiosity, what's this fool
He is
saying?
interesting to watch, though.
Not
Not gonna lie, he's interesting to watch, but I wouldn't, go with everything that man says.
I'm like, oh yeah, I do gotta be a size 8. So yeah, you're right.
But something else, because I do believe
You're stupid.
Kevin Samuels. But I do believe that there's also the practice of self-love. So you may not always feel like, okay.
Look, she didn't even finish getting it out of her mouth yet. I don't remember what her name is, but that's a huge thing that a lot of people don't get, is it's not about feeling always how you feeling like doing something. It's the act of it. It's the discipline of it. And that's what really matters. What really matters is not your feelings. People think it's your feelings, but it's the thing that really kind of shows who you really are, and your character is doing something even when it doesn't feel like, when you're not feeling it. Taking care of yourself when you're not feeling it. Caring for yourself when you're not feeling it. Forgiving somebody when you're not feeling it. Working on something that you need to work on that's best for you even when you're not feeling it. That's when it truly matters. But I'm gonna let them keep talking.
I love myself enough to want to do this, but to your point, environment, and sometimes it's the people around you.
Everything.
Yeah, because if
Yes,
you call me and I'm
honey.
just like, yes, girl, you know, you
Yes.
should not film. That's actually a toxic environment because
Yes,
I'm feeding
totally.
what is a part that is broken. I'm like, yes, you know, when you need to lose
Oh no, she didn't. She said you're feeding the part that is broken. Oh my gosh.
weight before you get on camera. But I think that whatever is around you should speak to the highest version of
Yes.
you, and not the version of you that you're holding on to that's
Yes,
broken.
yes, and yes.
Because then because I do believe that you can practice certain things. You may not feel that way because
Yes.
even when what the
What did
scriptures
I just
say
say?
about love, like love is kind, love
Yes,
is patient,
yes.
all that stuff. So what does that look like in our
Come on,
lives? Like,
Jesus.
how do we show patience? Like you showed up today, right? You may still not feel like you want to show up, but you're on camera. We're
Yes,
having
Lord.
this conversation. And what the power of that is, this is a practice of your self-love.
Yes.
That I love myself enough to still show up, even if I don't feel like it.
Like I'm worthy of having this
Yes.
conversation.
Yes.
Like I have
Yes.
something to bring to the table.
Yes.
Even
Yes,
if I
yes,
feel
yes, and yes.
like I gain weight.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
I'm sorry, I'm talking through this.
And so to me, it's not like
Yes.
it's coming from within. It's like I'm forcing myself. So it's coming like fake it till you make it, right?
Yes.
So I'm forcing myself. I'm like,
Or
okay, all
even
right.
like better, face it till you make it.
Face
Don't
it.
fake it.
Yes,
that.
yes,
I
and
like
yes,
that.
yes, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. Come on.
Till you
I
make
got
it.
enough fake
Face
lashes
it.
and nails. I don't need more.
Yes.
Face it until you know
Yes,
what?
yes, and yes.
That's it.
right
That's a
there.
gem.
Yes.
Right there. Face it until you.
Thank you, Jeannie.
It's because I faked it till I made it, and we all have. But there's a moment where you kind of meet yourself, and you're like, I'm not happy. And we
Yes.
talked about that time.
Yes, 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 and yes. Okay, so I'm just gonna pause it there. So on this journey to creating a better quality of life for yourself and like designing a life that's better and that feels like right for you, and that's what quality cup life is all about. At some point when you're like pushing and pushing further, you're gonna, at different checkpoints, you're gonna face yourself. Like you're gonna come up against yourself and who you've been in the past, and at that point you're gonna have to like make a decision on who it is that you're gonna be. Are you gonna be this new you, or are you gonna continue to be this old you? And like, oh my goodness, how many times have I had to face myself in the last freaking like 2-3 years, bruh? It's been crazy. I'm like, I'd be like, so this is who you were in the past? Like, I was about to say you was big trash. You weren't big trash, but like, I'm like, dang, like that's how you was operating. I had no idea. Like, but when you never take the journey to start to push for more and push for greater and better for yourself, you'll never meet yourself. You'll never meet yourself. You'll never be able to face yourself and face whatever it is that's keeping you from getting to what you want. So I love that she said that. I love that. Let's continue.
I mean, your life too. You went through a few years where you were like, you realized you weren't happy. Yeah. When you fake it, it'll catch up with you. But when you face it, you start to strip away parts of that soiled soil, the bad poison within your life, and you'll find eventually your truest self because you're letting your truest self sing every time you're singing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just made me think about, there's a verse I think in the Bible where it talks about God pruning you, and kind of you know how like you prune a plant, or you ever seen like a bonsai tree, and you'll see like a little, in the movies, you'll see like a little, I think it's Chinese, don't get me, but I think it's a Chinese plant or Japanese, one of them, and like they clip the bonsai tree, right? And so like it's like when you face yourself, you're starting to clip away those parts that are no longer serving you, so that way you can continue to grow, and then grow healthily. Because you might be able, the plant might still be able to grow, but maybe not in a healthy way. Kind of like when you clip your ends of your hair will still grow. It just won't be like a healthy, set of luscious locks. So that's what it kind of made me think of.
right now by being here. When you show up for yourself, you really do. That's actually a really big way of describing that environment, is to show up for yourself.
Yes.
Because we've all been there. I've been there. I remember I was telling her there was a programming I was doing for TBN, and it was called New Voices, and they had us come out, and there were other people who I admire, and I felt fat. I was like, quarantine has all of us gaining weight, and I filmed it, but I didn't want to share it. And so I'm like, oh, no,
they talking to me because I definitely have videos that I have not shared because I'm like, these might suck, so I'm just gonna not. Well, let's not.
Like the way I look, and again, it was environment. The people I spoke to, they're just like, Stephanie, what you said is so valuable. Are you gonna allow how you look to diminish and take away from
Stephanie,
what you
that's
had
her
the
name.
ability to say in that moment?
Yes,
and I'm
Stephanie.
like, I could change this later. I could change how I look, I could whatever, but I can never change this moment. This was a powerful moment for me. And I'm allowing this insecurity to rob me from it. Because it's just like the whole essence of being present in life. And sometimes we're not present in life because we're so mindful of our insecurities rather than the environment that we're in.
I just saw a butterfly, and I don't normally see butterflies, but you see the butterfly, it represents transformation. And so it's so beautiful that the butterfly is just going, you guys can't see the butterfly, but it's a beautiful white butterfly. But it's so when we talk about like how you've arrived at self-love, or it's not a destination, but how your journey in self-love and how that brought true love to you, Jeezy. What would you say you latched on to about yourself? So if you say, hey, I don't love myself because of my achievements, my looks, my whatever, what is it that you've latched on to love unconditionally about yourself?
Ooh, that's
that brought you to like being able to have healthy love with Jeezy?
Yes. Well, what's crazy is the divorce actually help wake me up. So in my marriage, I just wasn't at my fullest in that relationship. We both wanted different things. We both were different people. We had grown to be different people. We got married really young. So there's nothing bad about us personally, but being in a relationship, which is my environment, who you live with, your roommates, your man, your girlfriends, like that is a big serious thing. So clearing that helped. And then the shame, though, I lived a public marriage on a talk show daily, and so the day that we divorced and I knew it was out in public record, I had to race onto the talk show to talk about it first, so that it wasn't, I didn't want to try to get shaded in public before everybody else. So that was already kind of shame, because everybody's like, last week you were talking so great about this, but you kind of have to, that's why faking until you make it is not good. It doesn't work, right? I should have been honest that we were struggling. And so, but all to say, after that, it went through a year of like a sadness, because you go and make all the phone calls to your family members and you tell them why things didn't work out. A lot the kids involved are all like, you guys were bombed. You just feel ashamed. And then I looked at myself, and you're right. As women, the way we look, our health, and health is number one, right? Weight gain, weight fluctuation, sure, but are you healthy? And mental health is just as important as physical health. But let's talk about physical health first, because women. Women who, we are in a business where we are blessed to have glam, and we are blessed.
And I just wanted to say this before I continue. I know mental health is a big topic for today, but I think people fail to realize that your physical health affects your mental health. I'm not saying this for all people and stuff like that, but sometimes chemical imbalances, which can cause depression and stuff, comes from your physical health, like what you're putting in your mouth. Are you exercising? That plays a part in it. If you're not eating nutritious foods, how can your brain keep you balanced? That's gonna affect your mental health. So I just wanted to slide that in there before she continues.
To kind of be constantly reminded what the newest hair and the newest face looks like. But women who don't have access to that, you can tell when a woman kind of starts to let herself go. You can tell when we don't prioritize ourselves. And sometimes it's moms, because you prioritize your kids, your family, your household. But I noticed that I let myself go in weight. I was really thin. I weighed 99 to 100 pounds, And
that's low.
I realized
10
that
over that.
I wasn't happy in my relationship. I kind of fed into the idea of Hollywood whenever I, got sized for things. When you get a sample size, it's so nice to just fit into it. I didn't eat carbs. I did this whole LA thing. LA's got this thing with carbs, like you think you're walking to a burger joint. No, everything's made out of lettuce, but it's like, it's not real, and so I had followed into that. I hadn't eaten a piece of rice or pasta.
Oh no, I like pasta.
So
not pasta, rice.
100 pounds. I didn't have my period for maybe like I'd have it twice a year. Ooh. It was bad, but I was normal with it for 10 years because I was thriving in a career. I was faking it till I made it. I had a great career. I had money, and I was not healthy myself. So I was woken up by a great friend who was like, "No, girl, you look crazy, pointy and bony, and you look frail. You look
not pointy and bony."
Anything, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. You might think that you look healthy and sexy, but actually, you look like something could hurt you easily because And so I gained 20 pounds.
Jeannie was like, I gotta get a little thicker.
It was the best thing that I did for myself. Not just the weight, but just watching myself break my own rules. Like eat the carbs, or to go and force myself to work out and actually find ways to enjoy it and watch myself build like muscle definition.
That's so awesome.
Like to see your body actually get toned. You're like, wow, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
And then from there, the mental confidence chips in. And then when you learn how to break rules, then all of a sudden you start breaking other rules. Like if I was dating, but I was at the time 40 and dating, so you're like, maybe I should just like take in the dates right now, just to, because you never know what it could be like nowadays. Like everybody wants young people. So I was accepting people that were like, I would sit across the table from people that did not deserve my presence, and
I'm going through that right now.
I would be caught up, like if they didn't call me back, I'd actually get offended. Like, why aren't they calling me back? I'm Jeannie Mai. But then why am I caring about what this fool who doesn't even understand my value thinks about me?
Come on,
baby.
baby.
So I really had to break that and turn off dating, so that I turned off things that could actually make me judge myself based on their reaction. So if it was the fashion world, red carpets, men, things like that. So for that whole year, I really just like stayed by my damn self, eating, gaining weight, getting healthy, and then doing things for me. Like
I followed her too on that journey on like Instagram and stuff. I was so proud of her.
Such a great place that when I met Jeezy,
I'm saying this like I know her,
but
different. Sometimes it feels like I do.
Liked me so much. I was having a date by myself. Like I literally was sitting there like I liked what I was saying. I liked how I looked. I liked how I fit my clothes. And I liked how I was making this man feel, but it was about me. And in turn, he also
returned
enjoyed my
that same energy.
He radiated back who he is.
That's
and
awesome.
then we found each other. But the point was, I've been across that same table hoping they would like me.
And she probably wouldn't have been able to get with a guy like that if she didn't have that kind of energy herself. Because, like, when you don't have that same energy about yourself, people can kind of sense that, and so sometimes people will lowball you on the energy or money or whatever because they sense that you're not fully confident. And then when you're fully confident in yourself, those people can't even, like, when your light is shining that brightly, they can't even be okay with being around you with that, acting like that, you know what I'm saying? So I like that, Jeannie. That's cool.
Hoping that I looked pretty so that if anybody walked into the room, they would notice me, or like he was noticing me, or he would think about me when he left. I wasn't thinking about whether or not he was as into me as I felt as good as myself when I went home that night.
Yeah, you know? Jeannie, I'm so proud.
Yes.
And it was through taking care of yourself is what I'm hearing. Like you started to take care of yourself and show yourself love.
Yeah.
And that's just how God shows us. He thinks we're worthy.
Come on, bring the Lord into it.
You know what I mean? Like he sees that, but we have to see it for ourselves and take care of ourselves. And that, would you say, sparked your self-love?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a really great parallel. You're right. That is really ultimately God's love.
Yeah, I still got time.
The most similar love I think we can compare God's love to, at least for what it feels for me, is like how a mother looks at a child. Like, you know how some of us, we look at the child, we're like, yeah, all right. But the mom's like, this kid is an angel, this kid is beautiful, this kid is like, look at it, it's stunning. You're like, okay.
I get shame when they send posting like, post my child's amazing. We be like, yeah.
Right.
The moms think all their kids are stars, and it's just exactly.
But you are supposed to have that about yourself. You are, you know? And so even I ask you this, Ange, because we did talk about this before, and I love Dan so much. When we went out to eat, I was like, the next time we're not going to be sitting here eating, because we did order half the restaurant.
You better.
You and I ordered half the restaurant, but I was like, we are going to go hiking. Like I want us to be talking and hiking and being outside. Yes, and I will take you. I will take you.
I want to go on a hike too.
Like going back to that environment thing, like how can you do the things you enjoy, but like do them in ways where you break your norm and start doing things for yourself that also help you in some way. You know what I mean? Like that, those are things you have to start incorporating. Yeah. And that discipline that God teaches us in working out, in choosing to say no to that date. And God's love, what's so great about it is it does require discipline. It does require work. You don't get to your best self just by thinking it, because when you are living in the same place.
She's speaking my language, I promise you.
When your mind starts to change, your friend starts to change. And the way you choose to live starts to change.
Fact. I'm sorry for yelling in more facts.
And your job choices starts to change.
Yes.
So you have to discipline yourself and you have to show yourself and make those changes. And what does that look like? Like you would only know for yourself, but when you get up in the morning, like for me, I used to check my phone first thing. Like my phone was right there. And it would be my alarm, it would be my first thing of news, it would be my text messages. I don't have the phone in the room anymore. Or it's like, it's not reachable, you know, like somewhere else, you know? And
I got to get back to that, because I used to do that, but then I stopped. I kind of fell back, so we're going to get back at it.
I actually have on Amazon clocks for me and GZ to get, because I want us to use alarm clocks, because, you know, it's too easy to use the phone.
I do have an alarm
but
clock,
that
though,
phone
so that helps.
that's not discipline.
Yeah.
Like, you already work in social media. Like, there's no point, you know? So that's the first thing you do. And then what do you do? How do you control, if you have the ability to, you know, tell your assistants or start your day at a certain time so that you do you first? What is that? Is that a morning walk? Is that a morning run? Like, how are you disciplining yourself, you know? I think that we don't discipline ourselves enough to take care of ourselves first.
Ooh,
I love what you're saying
Jeannie.
about discipline too, because
I got a little bit of time
for
left.
everyone watching, like even when you talk about the divorce and all of that, and coming into a place of healthy love with yourself before finding that with someone else, because I think that's where the gap comes in, where we start to settle. Like when we reject, let's say discipline, when we reject things that would.
She ain't lying, because I'm thinking now, as the videos, as they're talking, I'm thinking about in my own relationship. Sometimes like I feel myself getting upset about something when I know that it was because I didn't have certain boundaries, or when I didn't take care of something for myself, and I find myself getting upset with him, or not with him. My first thought is that I think it's with him, but it's not really. It's really like I be getting irritated with myself because I didn't have the discipline to take care of myself first. So that's a word right there.
Actually cater to us. Then we're looking for who can meet us and keep us where we are. Yes. Right? And so the whole concept of discipline is like, I might be here, but I'm not going to stay here. So I don't even want something that will keep me in this level. That's so good.
I'm going to just be a placeholder for now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's so good.
And when you...
I know.
I'm going to have to stop this soon because I'm almost running out of time and go live.
Yes.
How, like when we talked about why self-love is so important for your relationship with God, because it mirrors God.
Yeah.
Like discipline, taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Because God would never keep you where you are.
Yeah.
Like he would see, he loves you, but he will his words will call you higher.
Yeah.
Like there's so much more to you. Get up, let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's why the lack of self-love kind of is dangerous to your purpose, dangerous to all the blessings God has for you, because you're not rising above. You're not meeting. You're not taking that next step.
It taints all your choices.
Yeah.
It really
That's
taints
a
all your
perfect
choices.
way.
Okay, so I think I got, like, my camera has like 5 more minutes, so I'm gonna stop it right there. But they said so many key things, and I mean, it's key, and what they're talking about is about everything that Quality Cup Life stands for. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, like when they're talking about God calling you higher, but the thing about God is so like gentle and patient with you. He's not gonna force you to go higher. He's gonna invite you to go higher. He's gonna invite you and try to push you in the right direction, but he's not going to force you to. It's up to you to have the discipline and the faith and the courage to go higher and move forward, even if it's little by little. He's still going to love you no matter what, no matter where you are. But there's only so much he can do with you and for you where you are. And that is just so key. That is so key to like living a better quality of life and pouring into yourself. It's about pouring into yourself, because the more you pour into yourself, the more God can bless what you have going on. But if you don't have anything going on, what can God bless? So, and when I say going on, I mean like for yourself, because if you have a lot going on for yourself, that means God can bless that. So that way, not just so that you can bless other people, but it helps you bless other people, because I know if you're watching this, I know you have people that you want to do for or take care of or bless or be there for, whether that's family members, friends, charity, or kids on the block, whatever it is. This whole thing has just been amazing. It's been fire. I've been talking through the whole thing, but I think this was amazing. This was awesome. Let me know if anything, you guys have any thoughts or resonates with you at all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you like. And I'm doing the 30-day challenge this month, and I'm uploading every single day. So thanks for keeping up with me. Make sure you tune in I think I'm gonna be done on like December the 29th or something like that. So I appreciate you for watching, checking it out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.